Good afternoon, you guys. How are you guys? How was recess?
Good.
All right. Okay, so this afternoon I'm going to tell you about a story what I did over the weekend. And so I took my children, Anna and Kevin, to the park, and they went bike riding and they got to play. And so the characters in my story would be me, myself, I'm a character, and my kids, Anna and Kevin. Those are the characters in my story. And where my story took place, can anybody tell me? Because I just said where we went for the weekend. Can anybody tell me? Oh, go ahead.
Did we go to the park?
Yes, that would be considered the setting of my story. It was at us, and what is something that we did at the park? I said it. Can you tell me no? Oh, you can't remember? That's okay. We went bike riding. Okay, so did you guys remember the story of the Three Little Pigs?
I do.
Okay, yes. So in the Three Little Pigs, in that story, that there was a big bad wolf, and the pigs are telling this story. So who would be the characters in this story?
The Three Little Pigs and the wolf.
Yes. So what is happening? Where is this taking place? It's taking place at their homes, right? Like the wolf is going to their homes. What is he trying to do to them? Yes.
He's trying to blow down their houses.
Yes, and actually, what did he do? Was he successful with doing that?
Yes.
Yes. On how many of the houses?
Two.
Yes, very good. Okay, so that being said, now we're hearing, when we read that story, when we know of that story of the Three Little Pigs, they are telling their version of what happened. What I'm going today to do is we're going to find out what the true story of the Three Little Pigs were. Okay? And then we'll discuss it, and we will give you, and this is coming from the wolf. He's telling this story. He's telling you what really happened to him. So what do you guys think might happen in this story? If we look through these pages, do you think that you think that's the same story, or he has the same ideas of what happened with the story with the pigs? You think that's his version of the story?
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Have you guys ever read this story before? No?
No.
Oh, okay. So this is going to be a great treat for you guys. So let me get started. And this is the true story of the Three Little Pigs. And this is written by John Szkielska and illustrated by Lane Smith. Everybody knows the story of the Three Little Pigs, or at least they think they do. But I'll tell you a little secret. Nobody knows the real story because nobody has ever heard my side of the story. This is the wolf talking. I am the wolf, Alexander T. Wolf. You can call me Al. I don't know how this whole big bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong. Maybe it's because of our diet. Hey, it's not my fault wolves eat cute little animals like bunnies and sheep and pigs. That's just the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think you were big and bad too. Oh my goodness. But like I was saying, the whole big bad wolf thing is all wrong. The real story is about a sneeze, achoo, and a cup of sugar. The real story. This is the real story. Way back in Once Upon a Time, I was making a birthday cake for my dear old granny. I had a terrible sneezing cold. I ran out of sugar. So I walked down the street to ask my neighbor for a cup of sugar. Now this neighbor was a pig, and he wasn't too bright either. He had built his whole house out of straw. Yeah, straw is very flimsy and probably wouldn't make a good house for if it was raining or anything like that either. Can you believe it? I mean, who in his right mind would build a house out of straw? So of course, the minute I knocked on the door, it fell right in. I didn't want to just walk into someone's house. So I called, little pig, are you in? No answer. I was just about to go home without the cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. That's when my nose started to itch. I felt a sneeze coming on. Well, I huffed and I sniffed and I choked. I sneezed a great sneeze. And you know what? The whole darn straw house fell down. And right in the middle of the pile of straw was the first little pig, dead as a doornail. He had been home the whole time. It seemed like a shame to leave a perfectly good ham dinner lying in the straw, so I ate it up. Think of it as a big cheeseburger just lying there. How many people would really just see a cheeseburger lying there and eat it? Would any of you guys? No, me either. I was feeling a little better, but I still didn't have my cup of sugar, so I went to the next door neighbor's house. The neighbor was the first little pig's brother. He was a little smarter, but not much. He had built his house out of sticks. Yeah, sticks aren't very strong either. We can break those really easily, right, you guys? Mm-hmm. I rang the doorbell. I rang the bell on the stick house. Nobody answered. I called, Mr. Pig, are you in? He yelled back, go away, wolf. You can't come in. I'm shaving the hairs on my chinny chin. That's just like the other story, right, you guys? Yeah. I had just grabbed the doorknob when I felt another sneeze coming on. And I huffed and I sniffed. And I tried to cover my mouth, but a great big old sneeze, achoo, came on out. And you're not going to believe it, but this guy's house fell down just like his brother's. When the dust cleared, there was a second little pig, dead as a doorknob. Wolf's honor. That means he feel like he's telling the truth. Like, I'm telling the truth. It's Wolf's honor. I don't know how truthful this pig is. Do you guys believe this wolf?
No.
No, you don't believe him? How about you? Do you believe him?
I believe him.
You do? Oh, good job. That's good. Now, you know food will spoil if you just leave it out in the open. So I did the only thing there was to do. I had dinner again. Wow, he's a hungry wolf, huh? Think of it as a second helping. I was getting awfully full, but my cold was feeling a little better. And I still didn't have that cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake, so I went to the next house. This guy was the first and second little pig's brother. He must have been the brains of the family. He's a smart guy. He had built his house out of bricks. Wow, that's going to be a little harder to knock down, right? Can't just sneeze and knock that house down. I knocked on the brick house. No answer. I called, Mr. Pig, are you in? And do you know what the rude little porkers answered? Get out of here, wolf. Don't bother me again. Talk about impolite. He probably had a whole sack full of sugar, and he wouldn't just give me one little cup for my dear old sweet granny's birthday cake. What a pig. I was just about to go home and maybe make a nice birthday card instead of a cake when I felt my cold coming on. I huffed and I sniffled and I achoo, sneezed once again. Then the third little pig yelled, and your old granny can sit on a pin. That would hurt his old granny, huh? If she was to really sit on a pin. Now, I'm usually a pretty calm fellow, but when somebody talks about my granny like that, I go a little crazy. When the cops drove up, of course I was trying to break down this pig's door, and the whole time I was huffing and puffing and sneezing and making a real scene. Look at those news lines. That's supposed to be the big bad wolf. Look. A.T. Wolf, big and bad. The rest, as they say, is history. The news reporters found out about the 2 pigs I had for dinner. They figured a sick guy going to borrow a cup of sugar didn't sound very exciting. So they jazzed up the story with all that huff and puff and blow your house down. And they made me the big bad wolf. That's it. The real story. I was framed. But maybe you can loan me a cup of sugar. That's funny, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So in this story, it's real similar to the Three Little Pigs story, right? The only difference is the wolf has a whole different version, and his way of thinking is so different. How do you guys feel about the story now? Do you still believe the wolf, or do you
I don't believe in this.
I believe the pigs.
believe the pigs? Okay, so who are the characters in this story? Go ahead, yes.
The wolf and the pigs.
The wolf and the 3 pigs. And then, of course, the police come in, right?
Yes.
And where does the story take place?
At the Three Little Pigs house.
Yes, yes. So, I want you guys to go into groups, and you guys can discuss the story of the 3 little pigs. And I have 3 worksheets you can choose from. Just choose one of these worksheets to do your paper, to show me that you know, like, where it's happening, what was the solution. What was the solution of this story?
The wolf got put in jail.
Yes, and do you think that the people of his town where they were living believed any word he was saying?
Yeah.
No, they didn't. They feel like this is no wolf would just go knocking on the pig's door for sugar, right? Okay. Well, which one would you like to do? Did you want to do this one, or this one? Here you go. Doing this one. Great job, you guys. Thank you very much. Can you guys go ahead and go to your desk, and you guys can get started.